Welcome to Sunday Night Live. It's Chit with T. We have Eddie Murphy on the docket. We're going to talk a little bit about P. Diddy and his drama, as he has drama every day. And then we're going to talk about Faizon Love and his legal issues. Okay, let's get into it. I'm deep. I'm deep. In the glow of our screens. It's a party inside. Sometimes you need solutions and sometimes it's just a ride. In good chat therapy. Welcome to the live Chit Chat with T. Let's get right into it. So first on the docket, hopefully you're having a good evening. Hi, be sure to say hi in the chat. Anyway, let's get into it. Yeah, we're gonna talk about Mr. Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence. Actually, more Martin because he has something to say. Actually, their children just got married, and this is gonna be short and sweet. I thought it was noteworthy. Okay. So before we speak on that, Eddie Murphy's son. His name is Eric Murphy and Jasmine Lawrence, which is Martin Lawrence's daughter. So this is what Martin wanted to say about his relationship with Eddie Murphy.
Telling me that he really felt like he got to bond with you once you got into the truck. He was a huge fan of yours, but he finally sort of got to tell you how he felt and how inspired he was by you. So what sort of kinship did you find with him?
Well, there was already a kinship because we have so much in common. We both are comics. We both started doing comedy really young. Both got on Saturday Night Live really young. We both lost our dads really young. So we have a lot of stuff in common. So when we got in the truck together.
So yeah, there was Eddie Murphy just speaking on their relationship, and there they are. They're cute, a cute little couple. And in fact, they actually, after they thought about it, they didn't have a big wedding. They decided to have a private, intimate wedding, but they are just recently married. So anyway, I thought it was really cute. Not much there. I thought it was a cute situation. And looks like the dads are getting along, which is good because, they're both famous comedians. So that's cute. All right. So there's that. So here's the thing. Do y'all think that it's Hollywood love or is it messy mixing fame and family ties? I will say, in my opinion, I think it's a cute situation. Okay. And we'll see what goes on next. Okay. Let's move quickly on to our next segment. Okay. Let's see. All right. Okay. Our next segment is You Know Who. P. Diddy. Yes, P. Diddy. There's always something to say about P. Diddy. Always. Okay, so we're going to just do a quick update on P. Diddy. Here we go. Yep, kind of like that red. So yeah, so we're just going to start with the timeline real quick to get us caught up where we are. A lot has happened with P. Diddy's case. We start back in 2023. Cassie files a suit alleging ape trafficking, years of abuse, blah, blah, blah. March 2024, further race on Combs properties. I think everybody remembers that. I think they raided like 3 properties. It was crazy. September 2024, he was arrested and indicted, held without bail, which is still crazy. Well, anyway, October 2024 through April 2025, superseding indictments add victims and details. May 5th through June 26th, trial with dozens of witnesses. And I think if you watched it, there's a whole lot going on with the trial. Weeks and weeks and weeks. Finally, we're here, July 2nd, 2025. Now guilty on trafficking, racketeering, guilty on 2 Mad Act counts, which is everyone's talking about the Mad Act counts. Anyway, here we are today. Now I brought you current, got you update. July through August 2025. Motions for retrial, new trial, bail denied again. Sentencing still set for October 3rd. Okay, so now we're all caught up. Let's continue. Okay, let's see. So around all of this, what I want to talk about is that, believe it or not, remember how we've been talking about the whole case and they had all these witnesses? Well, guess what? A third witness The third witness was missing, and we kept talking about it, like, where's the third witness? Well, crazy enough, it's his ex-girlfriend. Now, she just came out, which is so strange, right? It's so strange. Her name is, I always forget her name is Jenny Hunt, Gina Hunt. And Gina came out and spoke. Well, she didn't really speak. She wrote a letter on his behalf. So let me get there. I was going to share that with you. There she is right there. Okay. Her name is Gina Hunt. And she, you know what, before we go further, it's kind of weird because Gina didn't show up. Here's what she had to say. She didn't show up, and it was just so strange. But nevertheless, she still was able to write a letter to the courts about the situation. And let's see, let's get into what she had to say. Let me see. I find it interesting that she wrote a letter and she didn't show up in court. I still think that's crazy. But nevertheless, keep moving. So her name is, sorry, y'all, just making sure I get to the actual letter. All right. So her actual name is Virginia Hun. She goes by Gina. Was part of the prosecutor's case against Combs, initially anonymously referred as Victim 3. Remember, we talked about that. But before the trial began, prosecutors alerted the court while Victim 3 was under subpoena to testify. They had lost touch with her and her attorney, and she may not show up. And you remember, she didn't show up. She disappeared. But here we go. But this particular letter, Hunt's letter, was included in an exhibit in the defense's latest filing, the ones that were trying to get him out here recently. They replied to the prosecution's opposition to releasing Combs on bail ahead of his sentencing, which is set for October 3rd. We already talked about that. So here we go. And moving on. In the letter, Hun said she has known Combs for years, both professionally and personally. She acknowledged her relationship with the disgraced mogul was not always perfect, but he was willing to acknowledge his mistakes, and make better decisions in the future. It's interesting to me, though, okay? By the time our relationship ended, he embodied an energy of love, patience, and gentleness that was that was markedly different from the past behavior. To my knowledge, he has never been violent for many years and has been committed to being a father first, the letter stated. I'm writing because I do not view Mr. Combs as a danger to me or to the community. And so, yeah. Anyway, that's that on that. Um, well, I don't know. I mean, she wrote a letter on his behalf. I only thing I found is kind of strange about that whole thing about that is that it's just weird how she didn't show up and they're not really saying anything her about not showing up and she was subpoenaed. So I guess they didn't take any actions against her for not showing up. I just thought that part was a little weird. Maybe I missed something. I thought that was strange. Anyway, that's kind of the update on P. Diddy. Clearly I don't know how good it's going to do him. I have a feeling P. Diddy's going to be there to October 3rd, at least till the sentencing. I just don't see them letting him out. They keep denying him bail, okay? I don't see them letting him out. And there was talk of Donald Trump, number 47. I didn't mean to say that. There was talk of number 47 actually pardoning him, but eventually he decided their relationship turned hostile during the 2020 election. So apparently, I guess he's kind of not going to do that. Or, anyway, all these are hearsays, all this is allegedly. But anyway, moving on. So let's get into the next segment. We're kind of done talking about PD. That was more of an update, y'all. Not much to say about it. We're just gonna keep watching it because P. Diddy's story, there's a layer to it, adds to it every single day. For real. Every day. So let's move on. That's kind of all I wanted to share about P. Diddy. Let me know your thoughts about her coming out with this letter. And ex-girlfriend. It's just really interesting to me though. So let's keep going. I've already kind of went through the letter. All right. Guess who that is, y'all? All right. So now we're going to talk about who Faizon love. Like, who is this man with the rollers? I don't know. Y'all, but listen, I don't know if you remember, but there's a movie called Friday. I mean, like everyone knows Friday, mostly everyone. But this is Big Worm, and I call him Big Perm. Anyway, this particular babe with the rollers in his head, honey, he was in the first one, and he was funny. Remember, he rolled up in that car and how the car dropped. Yeah, I don't know much about cars, but I remember the car, and I guess it's hydraulic. I don't know, y'all. Don't make fun of me. But nurse says, nevertheless, this is him. But unfortunately, Mr. Faizon Love has gotten himself into a bit of trouble. Okay, so we're gonna get into a little bit of his business and see what he got going on. Okay, so
Faison Love guilty at a San Diego County court on Tuesday for an assault with a deadly weapon. He's known for his roles in movies including Elf and Couples Retreat. 37 was the first to tell you that an arrest warrant was issued for Love after investigators say he threw a credit card reader at a receptionist's head at the Sheraton in Mission Valley last August. Police say he was upset the hotel had no vacancy, even though he through a third-party app. The receptionist is suing Love, saying she got a concussion from the attack. The DA says Love faces 7 years behind bars if he is convicted. He's scheduled to be back in court next month. We reached out to Love through his Instagram account for comment. His only response was, quote, San Diego, the finest city in America. It's good to come home and feel you still belong. Viva las cuatro milpas, apparently referring to the recently closed Barrio Logan restaurant.
okay, that was interesting. I was surprised to see him in the news because I haven't heard anything about Faizon Love. I haven't seen anything. You know, I really don't know anything about him. I looked it up. Of course, I know about Big Worm, but I was surprised to hear that. But yeah, so he got upset with the lady at the hotel. But you know, just to mention real quick, those third party services, y'all, they're a mess. You know what? Because I can see him kind of getting upset. You know, I'm not condoning violence at all. So that's not what I'm saying. But I do remember I booked something through a third party service. Not gonna name any company's name at all whatsoever. And sometimes you get to the thing and the prices do change on you. They do change, but nevertheless, he has to be accountable for his behavior. And I don't know why he was felt like he needed to be violent, but surely there's a little bit of anger issues there. But anyway, I don't know what's going on with him. But moving on from that, you know, and also he played in Friday, and Friday was one of my favorite all-time shows. I mean movies. So yeah, I'm a big fan of Friday. And he wasn't in the other Fridays. I can't think of the other two, but there was the remake of Friday, like I think it was three times. Well, there's talk and rumors of another Friday coming out. I don't know if it's called the Final Friday or whatever, but more than likely, I don't know if they're going to do it because we've had some of the, you know, some of the members, the key members. I can't think of his name, but the pops. It was something he passed, so I don't see why or how they would probably do it. But even if so, I don't know. Faison seems to be in some trouble, in 7 years. Whew. But anyway, he seems to be a little angry there. But there's really not much to say on that, you know. Just not much to say on that. He seems to be angry. Um, but anyway, so let's do a quick wrap up. Okay, this is short and sweet. I just wanted to touch on just a few people, all right? And let's quick wrap up. And first, we talked about just a quick wrap up. We talked about Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence's kids and their sweet little marriage. I think it's cute and how they have become a family and they've been friends for a while. I think that's great. And then we talked about P. Diddy's case. We just kind of gave a quick rundown update, a timeline, and then we talked about just how you know how his ex-girlfriend Gina came out and she's trying to help get him out and all the things. And my question for you on that one, do y'all think the new witness helps clear his name or is just adding more confusion to the mess? That's my question to you about that. But then lastly, we talked about Faizon Love, who's a comedian. Again, I don't know much about him, but I remember him being Big Worm and Friday. And I will never forget him rolling up in those rollers. Because that was one of my favorite movies. I don't know if you know anything about it, but it was, okay? So yeah, let me know what you think about this. It's very short and sweet. All right. I just want to touch on these things. I'll be back with another live, okay? Let me know what you think on the thoughts and say hi if you like on the live or in the comments. Let me know what you think. And if there's anything you want to talk about, let me know. I'll be happy to do so. All right. Don't forget to like the video, share the video, subscribe, all the things. And yeah, this is Chit Chat with T. I'm your host, Miss T. Have a good night, have a good afternoon, or good morning, depending on when you listen. Thank you and bye-bye.